Good morning, America, and to all those listening in from the four corners of the globe, the little blue planet here, 5 rocks from the sun. What you're looking at is total chaos, and that is by design. As you see here, they're simulcasting right now. You have the upper right corners the globalists, upper left corners the sovereigns. Mixture of liars in both. You have spies infiltrating the upper left from the upper right. You've got spies infiltrating the upper right from the upper left. They're all swapping lies. The bottom line is here, people, we got problems. We, the people, have problems. There's no question about that. I'm sure you'd readily agree. Just turn on this crap right here. Just look at some of the news sources that I personally follow. And you can take a look right here. This is Drudge. And it's chaos, impeachment. This is the craziest thing that I have ever seen in my entire life. And believe you me, I've seen some crazy things. I've been around the world and seen a monkey try to procreate with a football, for God's sake. I've seen it all. I've damn near seen it all. And this takes the cake. I am privy and I'm aware of the working natures inside of a courtroom, be it a city municipality for a speeding ticket or the federal government for other things. I'm quite familiar with how they operate, and this is not how it's done. What you've got here is people jockeying for position to try to do one thing and one thing only at this moment in time, is to control the narrative. Control where the eyes and ears and thoughts and feelings and emotion of the sheeple are pointed. That's all that we're talking about. It's come to the point that this thing that we call news is nothing but fictitious lies, because both sides have their agenda. And the sad thing about it is the agenda is compromised or is being swayed on both parties by the globalists. That's the people who have been, let's say, on the top of the hill. And by the way, they stole that hill from old man MacDonald or whoever. So they're the ones on the top of the hill that the little hootsy tootsies, the high end, high dollar folks, way up there. I'm not talking about no millionaire. I'm talking about way topside, way topside. And you get in a position like that, and you start looking down at the minions, and they just don't quite. They're just scum of the earth. I mean, it maybe not so much scum of the earth, but they're damn sure looked at differently. How do I know this? I know this. I know this to be true. Unfortunately, I know this to be true. But when you're at the bottom and looking up, that's a hell of a hill to climb. So what they got to do is they got to keep those people down there totally confused, because the ones that can win and change this is John B. Wells' side here too for news. You can check him out. You can come over to John B. You can click on daily news. It'll take you over to some news. You can download this stuff in a PDF format. And I tell you what, this is classic right here. How would you like to see Nancy Pelosi at about 6 a.m. in the morning rolling out of the rack? Woo! Yeah. You know what I'm talking about. You remember back in the days when your 23, 24-year-old bride rolled out of the rack about 6 a.m. It didn't seem to be the same person that rolled in there late last night. You know what I mean? That's a topic for another story, but here we are. So going back here to this chaos, now they've swapped, and Trump is over there right now. He's talking to them about, he's at the damn UN. Oh, this is crazy. This is absolutely insane. People, let me share something with you. Many people know that I'm trying to get a project going that will help the small people and help all of us make clear, cognizant, critical thinking decisions based on the information that we receive. We'll call that facts. Shit, what is facts nowadays? And excuse the explicit. I've been told not to use as much explicit language. Well, they're simulcasting again up there. That's bad for ratings when they're simulcasting. They're all about ratings. It's all about ratings. But where we're at, people, right now, we're getting into a point in time to where, in my heart of all hearts, the front battle that we're fighting is not the big battle that they know is coming. Both sides at the very, very top echelon of where this battle has started. This is a mental warfare, people. This isn't typical warfare where they say that Johnny's going to go get his gun, as they're doing right now, and going over and sacrificing treasure and life over there of the various nation states. For what? For what? 95% of the people in the world don't have any clue really why we was in Vietnam. Not many people in the world know or why we went into Iraq, Syria, Libya, or any of these other countries. As these people start talking about the various things that's going on, that's not what this is about, people. It's not what it's about. Wake up and smell the roses. What this is about is control of each and every one of us that are in the lower tier. There's only really two tiers, the globalist side and the sovereign people side. And the people side don't have a damn clue. The globalists damn sure know of what's going on. So it appears that we have major problems, and the only way that you can resolve this problem that we have is to eliminate the ability to perpetuate or to move on. You can't, if you in warfare, if you cut off the supply line, just like they did to the Indians, same group, same spirit, they did to the Indians. They couldn't beat the Indians back in the day by battle, so they had to starve them out. They put a bounty on the high plains animals, or they put big high prices for the pelts of buffalo and elk and antelope, all those things. And they eradicated damn near the entire population of the buffalo and the high plains animals that was the food source of the Indians, and they starved them out. And then they finished them off at Wounded Knee. Do the history. I'm an Indian. I know. And they've done this in various other places, and people, they're trying to do it to us now while we're watching these charades going on, and we're swapping lies here on a Wednesday. I guess it's Wednesday morning, September the 25th or 4th. Let me just even see. It doesn't really even matter much to me anymore. It's the 25th. It's a Wednesday. Until which time we can cut off the supply line of those that are on the globalist side. Globalist means they're looking to conquer, and they don't even look at it as conquering, just controlling all the minions that are sucking up vital resources of the planet, the little minions down there. We've got to get them working for us. We'll pay them a wage for them to be able to survive, but all the monies that they get, we're going to have to tax them because we're taking care of them. So they should really be working for us, and then we'll just throw them a little bone, a little crumb to keep them going. Oh, They got to have enough to buy the little boats and little motorcycles and things like that. So they're happy as they can be while they're in their corral. We'll never let them reach their maximum potential or they'll take us down because there are so many thousands of times more of them than there are us. So the minions just sit and look and watch and listen to these lies being swapped by both sides, while the very thing that they should be doing is looking at cutting off the supply line to the globalists. And what is that supply line? What does everybody use? Globally, what's the reserve currency of the world? It's the dollar. As long as the dollar is the world's reserve currency, and I am a very loyal patriot of the United States. I love the soil that I walk on here in East Texas, as I'm sure you do wherever you're at. But until which time we can level the playing field, because what they're using right now is so subtle, it's cunning, and it's baffling, and it's powerful. And that is they're getting us to focus our attention, or those that will, onto various different paths or scenarios that will lead us down to the right, to the left, because that's the safe place to be, because someone's going to shoot you. There's going to be this, that, and the other, and the whole time they're spraying our skies. They are. And if you don't believe that, let's send a plane up there together. Let's all get together and put our pennies together. You would not believe the power of a penny. You know, you can lay down on the ground and you can have someone drop a penny on you. Say, I'm going to make you move. You better get up. I'm going to drop a penny on you. It's going to hurt. They say, oh, a penny ain't going to bother me. They drop a penny on you. Doesn't bother you. You laying there. But if they were to have a collection of 1,000,000 pennies from 1,000,000 people, all liking would prefer for you to move, but you don't move, and then they drop it, each one individually drop their penny on you at the same time, you're going to be flatter than a pancake. The penny has power. So does numbers. We the people have power. But what we've got to do, people, what we have got to do is we've got to come together and harness, corral, and mold together our collective power. And then each one individually, which would be no skin off your nose, be able to contribute from the essence of your being, a representation of you, which is that penny. How would we do that? We have built a platform to do just that. What we're going to have here is, as the world watches this charade that you see taking place in front of you here now, upper left, upper right, the two contributing parties to the ongoing continuous debate that keeps the attention of all the minions, and therein lies the power. Where attention goes, energy flows, and that's the seed of manifestation. That's fact. We will have, for those that choose to, by the way, we're forming a group, a community of people that are seeking others that are sane. And we'll call this group, or we'll have an acronym for the group, SOS. In maritime and other venues, SOS stands for save our ship. That means you're in distress and you're sinking, you're going down. Well, take a look around. I think it's about time for a little SOS, but in this particular case, the message of SOS is what catches someone's attention. But the bottom line is that SOS in this case stands for Seekers of Sanity. We all gather together on a common spot, and we exchange ideas, thoughts, and feelings. We give our opinions on various topics like what's taking place today, and the topic will change tomorrow. Anything to keep the minions from thinking about the real resolution to this problem, and that is the restructuring of the way that value or money is distributed around the world. And if you have only one particular storehouse of value, which y'all call money, that's all money is a storehouse of value. You can take your blood, sweat, and tears that you're working every day. That's your energy. That's either your creative energy from being a person that does things in their mind and transforms it into a piece of work, art, articles, writing, or with your hands as construction and what have you. That's work. But the work and the talents that you have by creating articles, taking pictures, or working, the talent that you have and the energy of your being that others want has value. And they're willing to give you something of theirs in exchange for your creative power or your ability to work physically. You agree on this, that yes, I would like what you've got, and I will do this task if you'll give me X number of what you've got in exchange for my efforts or my creativity or my work or my strength. And you agree to use this thing called the dollar. The dollar is nothing more than a piece of paper that we see across the globe that people recognize as having value. And they can feel in their heart that other people, if they accept this piece of paper with green ink on it, that other people will accept that piece of paper in exchange for something that you want, that they have, that they'll agree to accept this piece of paper in exchange for that item. That's all money is, people, is a storehouse of value. However, by default, we all accept in advance that for your work, your labor, your creativity, you'll accept this storehouse of value called a US dollar. Instead of gold, silver, tulips, whatever, it doesn't make any difference. Shiny objects, little pebbles. If you both agree and you exchange, and both of you agree, you exchange, that medium will work. Then you've created a deal that's done. However, when people lose faith in the shiny pebble, I don't think anyone's going to want this. If I take this for all my work, I don't think someone's going to want this shiny pebble. Or I don't think anybody's going to want this ruble. Or I don't think anybody's going to want this dinar. Or I don't think anybody's going to want this dollar. When people lose faith in it and see that it is not a good storehouse of value, because you put your value into this, your essence into this storehouse of value called a dollar, and it gains you no value. It doesn't give you a fair exchange for the work and effort that you put in. We will talk a lot about the Federal Reserve. Gruff. Get rid of fake Fed. People, if we want change, we have to restructure the way that value is distributed across our country and across the world. Nothing's going to change. What you're seeing on TV right now is not going to change. It is not going to change. As long as the globalists who want to control all forms of storehouses of value for the minions so they can literally guide our life and lives in the future to come. This is as they call it, a watershed moment. This is the crossroads. I would like for you to join with us. Subscribe to this YouTube channel. There's a little red button that says subscribe down there that you're looking at. And when you click subscribe, a little bell is going to pop up, and click on it too. That's going to give you a notification of when I'm going to do these calls. And they could be at the spur of the moment. We'll probably have some that are scheduled that you could plan on. We'll all come together and we will exchange thoughts. We'll have a website called the Rabbit Hole Herald. It's not up yet, it will be. We'll post our thoughts, or someone will have a question, and then others can respond to that question. Now here comes the beauty. If someone in our community, our culture is, if we gain value from anything, from another member of our community, another seeker of sanity, another person that's a part of what we'll call the Silent Supporters Society. That's what we're doing. I'm describing to you now. If we have a topic like, what do you think about the transcript being released from the White House today? Do you think they're all like, whatever the topic may be, polar bears in Alaska, chemtrails, it doesn't matter. Pose a question. Other people see that question and they make a comment. Others read their comment and they can then show appreciation to the comment or the question, to the individuals that created the question, a valuable question, and the comments, if they feel like the comments from another individual was a great comment, had value that you gained from their knowledge. And if you're a member of the Silent Supporter Society, you could take a worthless piece of paper called a US dollar, and you could convert that dollar into 100 pennies in our world, Penee, penny. Not a Penney, but a penny, Penee. That's just like going to a fair and getting those little tickets and going taking the rides. And you go to leave, you see a friend say, hey, I've got 10 tickets, give me $10, or whatever the case may be. And you save them the time and effort of having to go to the ticket booth. But it's currency inside of that deal. Now you can convert it back, just by that example I gave you, into worthless paper fiat pennies again, or metal fiat. A penny's worth more than $1. Isn't that crazy? It really is. It really is. It has redeemable value. What's the value of burning paper ashes? But at least a penny's got something you could sell. So in this scenario, you throw some worthless fiat into our little group here, $1, $5, and break it down just like pennies. One penny, Penee, is the same value as a Penny. So when someone makes a great comment, or they post up a picture, or you see them on an article somewhere that they're writing on Medium, or you watch one of their videos like my good friend Rex Bear of Leak Project, or any of these others that I follow or you follow, you see them make a comment, or will they create a video just like a Rex, and if we can get Sean of SGT and X22 and all those that you may follow. If they're members, and some of those people get 3 or 4 or 30,000 or more, or 1 million views, if it has value and they're all members of our little community, and every member that goes over there, instead of sitting on their worthless backside, doing nothing, complaining about what's going on in the world, for God's sake, if you're not going to do something, We teach a culture if you gain value, reciprocate in a small token of your appreciation of the value you gain. Flip the person a penny. Flip the person a penny, for God's sake. They're out there working their backside off. They're hoping that YouTube or one of these other outfits will give them some sort of penance, some sort of recognition in the form of gratuity, so that they can keep the boat floating and keep getting you vital information that you need. What's right around the corner of the bridge is out. But no, most people just sit there, get all this education from these people breaking their backs trying to go out there and create this stuff, using their own resources to do so, hoping that YouTube or something won't demonetize them or not give them proper exposure to their audience so they can get more views. YouTube and the likes thereof have weaponized earnings. So what we're doing is we're countering. The people are countering with our own system to remonetize those demonetized sites, or to help that person sitting out in the river bottom somewhere on a 5-gallon bucket, but they're damn smart. And they can find their way to give some good old down-home advice on the Rabbit Hole Herald, and people see that good old down-home advice from that toothless wonder sitting down there in the river, and they anoint that person with a penny. That might not be much, but when that person gets 1,000,000 pennies, do the math. That's $10,000. That'd change that person's life, Mr., Missy, if you can hear my voice. If you're getting the picture, help me get to 1,000,000 minds. This is a 1,000,000 mind movement. And everybody have a little bit of scratch in their account, because when the time comes, and it will come, that the people go, oh my God, if we just had someone over there to give us the straight skinny, if we have 1,000,000 minds and we blast it across our audience, we've got something coming down over in Cincinnati or wherever, Oconomowoc, Wisconsin, wherever. We could have thousands of eyes and ears over there with cameras, minds that are seeing what's going on, doing some investigation, and bring the real news back to the rabbit hole. And let our people see it. And when they do bring that back, by God, that's valuable data. In our 1,000,000 mind movement, people, we grow even beyond 1,000,000. And when those people go out, they know when they deliver value, they're going to be compensated, because that's our culture. And we start raising up the people that thought they had no hope. They have hope now, because inside of them they have a story. And that story, if they tell it on the rabbit hole, or they let some of our other members know, and we propagate that story out to our people, we can help each other, folks. What you've just heard is a 10-year toil of labor that I've gone through, and a few other people, a handful of other people, that we've been trying to create a way that the average individual person who wakes up in the morning thinking there's no hope, they came into this planet with a plan given to them by the Creator. They have a mission. All that they need to do, whether they end up under a bridge or on the 102nd floor of some penthouse building, they got a mission. If they can get that mission, that person under the bridge, their mission, as odd as it may be, could have been laying in a box when a child driving by with their parents driving by, and they see that person under there, they match eyes together, and that little child never forgets what they saw. And they go out and they change the world because that person connected with them. And they made that union together that's divine. And if the person in the box was to be able to have a way that they could get their story, by God, Obama gave them all cell phones with broadband, so they can do it. If they were to be able to voice their opinion of what it's like down there on the street level, and it resonates, being truthful, honest, and it resonates with others, we just pulled another one out off the ditch. We all get together and we can find ways that we can strategically, peer-to-peer, help each other. And we'll have a new way of redistributing wealth. This is at the 30-minute mark, and I'm going to call it a day here now. But subscribe to this channel. Pass this channel out to as many people that you possibly can. Have them subscribe. Click the little bell down there so that when I make another one of these, they'll be able to watch it and see it. I'll try to keep them to about 15 minutes. We're going to have conference calls. We're going to have video calls so that people can get together and you'll know you're not alone. You'll know that there's other people out there that together we can help each other. We might only have a penny or 5 pennies or $1, but by God, we get together, we're powerful. 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 This is Randy. Jedi 1, Red Eye, Red Dog. What else they call me nowadays? Sue? No. Go out, have a wonder-filled day. It is by choice. And I'll see you on the flip side. Jedi 1, we down.